All right, everyone. I am back here with Andrew Stein. We just did a great interview about Anki and their product Cozmo, a consumer electronics robot that incorporates some simple AI to give it some pretty sophisticated behaviors as well as emotion. And he's going to show us how it all works.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing I do is I'll wake up Cosmo. So as we talked about in the podcast, Cosmo is completely driven by an app to keep him at a reasonable price point. So all the heavy lifting is actually done by your phone or your tablet. So I'm connected to Cosmo over Wi-Fi, and I'm gonna hit connect here. Hopefully it's gonna find him. We'll wake up. And I'll let you see what happens when Cosmo first comes to life. Here he is coming off his charger. And so now Cosmo is fully autonomous, so he's gonna look around and do his own thing. He can see his cubes, he can see us, he sees me, he just looked at me. Yep, hi there. So I don't actually know if this Cosmo recognizes me. I'm not sure I've introduced myself, so why don't we do that first. So I'm gonna go into an activity we call Meet Cosmo. And let's see, he does not know me. So he doesn't know anybody yet. So I'm gonna enter my name, Andrew. He's scanning my face now, getting to know me.
And we talked in the podcast a little bit about some of the algorithms that you use to
This is him saying my name.
work.
There we go. So now he knows my name.
Oh wow!
So when he sees me, he'll call me by name. So that's a key moment for people. It's like, oh, robot knows my name. So cool. So you can actually introduce him to 10 different people.
Okay.
And he'll remember you. Yep. Hi there, buddy. So yeah, so he's a autonomous little aware guy here. Now we're sitting here, so he's gonna keep saying my name. And if I let him be, he'll do his own thing. And he knows when he's picked up, you can see sort of his personality. He's gonna get annoyed with me. At some point, he's gonna want to get put down. I know. So you can see how expressive his face is and the sounds that he makes, and he knows what orientation is. This may not work on this soft surface. Let's see.
Does it also, for example, recognize that there's another voice in the room and try to figure out?
So interestingly, for a variety of reasons early on, he doesn't have a microphone in him.
Oh,
so
really?
He actually doesn't hear you. No, it's funny.
Wow.
People always talk to him. He actually doesn't hear you. So it's all vision based.
Okay.
Yeah. It's something we're always looking into, but yeah.
I think
so
it found me.
Yeah, he probably did see you. He might be able to see you from there. So we can do fun little things like let me show you what happens when we pick up a cube. So I'm gonna play with him here. I'm gonna ask him. You have these sort of currency within the app called Sparks, so you can ask him to do tricks.
Okay.
Wait, no, I want to do. Sorry, not that one.
While you're doing that, we talked extensively about these cubes. You can notice the codes that are embedded on each of the sides of the cubes, and this is a core element of
Actually, I didn't do anything. He just decided to do this on his own.
the computer vision application that they've spent quite a bit of time on, where they're able to determine the orientation of these cubes and
There we go.
allow it to connect into them. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Let's see if he might want to stack it. Nope, he's just gonna put it down. Oh no, he's this is actually Cosmo working out. He uses his cubes to he's doing his own little thing here. Like I said, he has a whole bunch of behaviors he can exhibit, and we don't necessarily, we're not picking what he's doing. It's
right.
just sort of based on his emotional state or whatever. Good job, buddy. He's pretty pleased with himself. All right. So the other thing I was going to show was Codelab. So the programming environment we talked about, which is within the app.
Okay.
Oh, we just got some points here. So.
Ah, nice.
All right. Now let's go in here and let's try Codelab. Oh, you can also, I won't go through this, but there's also Explorer mode where you can actually remote control the robot. You can see through his eyes. You can get a sense of what he sees. Actually, let me just show you so you can see what that looks like. So we're going to take control. This is going to give me a bunch of instructions. You tilt the device to turn him. You've got some sliders to control his speed. He's got a night vision mode. And you can control his lift and his head with these sliders on the right. And when he sees things, you'll see he'll draw a box around them. And you can control his actions. So here you can see my hand. And you'll see what happens when he sees a cube. See, he knows exactly where that cube is. Right? And here's an interesting thing people don't realize he can do. You notice, not only can he lift cubes, he can roll cubes. So watch this. So the cube's on its side. He's going to drive up to it and actually roll it over. He likes his cubes to be upright. So yeah, so you can move his head up and down. Huh. So I'm currently human. He probably hasn't. Yep, now he sees me as Andrew. See how it says my name?
Yeah.
So he's recognized me. And you can also move his lift. So anyway, this is kind of a fun way to directly control the robot, which kids really enjoy doing. So I'll go back and show you just a little bit of Codelab. Real quick here. So here's Codelab. As I mentioned, we have these featured projects. So there's lots of projects you can go in and play. And then we have the Sandbox Mode, which again is sort of the beginner mode where you can just do sequences. And these have little challenges to learn things like, how do I make him drive in a square?
Yeah.
Well, I do a turn right, followed by a straight, followed by a turn right, followed by a straight.
Okay.
You eventually learn like, oh, that's a loop, and you learn to make a loop. So it sort of teaches you very basic programming. And then we have constructor mode.
Makes me think of, what is it, Logo? The
exactly,
turtles?
Exactly. But with a cute animated robot.
Yeah.
So let's see. And then there's constructor mode where there's also lots of projects and different things you can do. Same idea, but more complicated. So I'll just show you a quick, here's a really quick little thing. We had a little girl come in. This is going to be the tutorial, so I'll just skip through it since I know how to use it. We had a little girl come in, and her first thing that she tried, which she was very excited about, was this thing. So she made a continuous loop. That's what that block is. And she said, let's see, wait until a cube is tapped. Mm-hmm. And once the cube is tapped, it will proceed to the next thing and play an animation. And she really liked this animation. So this was her whole program. The green flag to play. And now it's waiting till I tap a cube. And Cosmo responds. So that's Cosmo sneezing. So, this little girl came in and she made herself her first little program was every time she tapped the cube, Cosmo will sneeze. It's just sort of a fun little thing. But, there's all these animations and things that you can do. You can wait on faces. You can wait until you see a happy or a sad face. You can move the lift, move the body. You can have Cosmo say things. Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of fun stuff you can do here. And once you've gotten sort of past these basics, so I'll stop that one. Then you can go into constructor mode. So to show you some of that, I'll show you a featured project. So how about, this is kind of a fun one. So this is a magic fortune teller. So here you get, this is the screen you get for every featured project is a little set of instructions. Mm-hmm. So this says after you tap start, when Cosmo has a question mark on his face, this means it's your turn to ask him a yes/no question. Of course, he doesn't hear you, but this is just part of the fun. Okay. Shake Cosmo and listen to your magic fortune. So it's like the old Magic 8 Ball, right? But with a robot. So here we'll play it. So here you go. We're going to wait for the question mark. All right, so we're going to ask our question. I don't know. What do you want to know?
Is it going to rain tomorrow here at CES?
All right, and we're going to pick up Cosmo, and he can tell he's being shaken.
It's pouring here today at CES, by the way, for those not here.
Let's see what he says. No way.
No way. All right.
Cute. Good. All right. That's
awesome.
I hope he's right. So there's your little activity. Now the fun part is once you've played it and you think, oh, that's neat. How did that work? All of the pre-featured projects have the See Inside button. And what you see here is scratch code. Oh wow. So you can browse around in here and see how it all worked and go figure out like, no way, where was that? All right, here it is. There's that sets his fortune to no way, and then broadcast message 3. Okay, then there's this thing over here which when message 3 received, he's going to say the fortune. He's going to look up and say the fortune. You can go in here and see how he drew on the face and all these things. But this is all, without writing any code. Oh, wow. And you have all these blocks. So unlike Sandbox Mode, there's tons of stuff you can do here, including, full-blown logical operations and math and storing variables. So you can really get kind of as complicated as you want. Okay. But again, in this sort of visual scenario. So
what's down under this data tab down there?
The data was like, so here they've sort of double used it to make little labels, but also you can create variables here. Okay. And then you can do sets and reads from variables. Okay. Yeah, cool. So it's really a very full-featured programming language, just visual, so you can kind of get in pretty deep pretty quickly.
That thing is adorable.
We think so. Yeah. So awesome. Once we get out of here, it's sort of Cosmo will come back to life as we get out of Codelab. He'll go back to playing around. Okay. I don't know what that was. Oh, he's singing. He knows a few songs, so. Now, there usually is a little string at the bottom. When you're like, what in the world was that? You can usually see what he was doing. So he was just singing a song called Yellow Rose.
Oh.
So now he's asking to play a game. So he will initiate games too. And for example, if I tell him no, he's going to be sad. I'm sorry. And he likes to be played with. So he has these meters where the yellow one is play. You're supposed to try to keep the meters full by playing games with him and interacting with him. And then sometimes he needs quote-unquote repair where some system gets out of whack and you have to do a little activity to sort of recalibrate his lift or something. And then you have to feed him. So he likes to keep his energy up. You can feed him with his cubes. So you fill them with energy and then you feed them to him.
Okay.
And so now he's in a mode where he's looking for motion on the ground. So he's going to pounce on my finger. And so he knows he got it. You gonna do it? You gonna do it? Yep. So he's definitely, I think, if you compare this to sort of your typical robot, he's much more lifelike and that's all very deliberate, right? There's been a lot of work put into trying to make him lifelike like this and not feel robotic.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Well, thanks so much, Andrew.
No problem. Thanks.